Hi everyone, welcome to The Last Drop. I am Chris. Thank you for joining me today in this brand new year, 2021. I hope you are well. 2021, new year, new diary. Brown this time, faux leather effect. Let's get stuck in. 13th for the first was a London Whisky Club tasting evening. This was Campbelltown Festival malts, so really quite pleased to have got some of these. They weren't too hard to pick up during last year, but you know, and they were mostly out of my price range, apart from one, which I'm sort of now a bit gutted that I didn't get, but it sort of puts it into my highlights in my head. Well, not highlights, but it puts it into focus for the remainder of my journey of something that I would like to pick up. So we started off with the Cadenheads 18-year-old 52.3%. This was a sherried dry finish going on that one. I believe it was 16-year-olds and not 18-year-old, like I said. Could be an 8, could be a 6. Terrible handwriting. This one was supposedly from a certain distillery. It was okay. People were a bit hit and miss with it, I think. But yeah, I didn't mind it. It was not too bad. I think it grew on me as I drank it. But I still gave it 7 out of 10. Next up, we had the Hazel Burn 18-year-old. 47.4%, so slightly quite lower ABV normally than you would normally get in cask strength stuff. This was lemony and had a certain fizziness to it, sort of a sherbety texture going on. This was actually my favourite of the evening, and I gave it 8.5 out of 10. Next up, now I'm a big Kilkerran fan, so I'm quite surprised I didn't enjoy this as much as I hoped. But I think maybe a bit of hype, you know, got in the way of there, sort of over-expectating things. Expectating? Is that a word? Kilkerran, 14-year-old, 57.8%. This was tropical with coconut, light, sweet sort of texture going on, a bit tangy. It was very good. Still, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. But there was no peat there, which was normally what you get in the 16 and the 12 and the heavily peated, and even the cask strength 8-year-old, you get the peat coming through. But this just didn't have any of that, so it was quite interesting, but it wasn't. I didn't feel that it was. I didn't feel that it was a good Kilkerran for me, or a great Kilkerran. Next up was a 26-year-old Springbank. Yep, 26 years old. Way out of my price range, I tell you now. 51.1%. This was oaky, had some light peat going on, funky, oily, and quite drying. Sort of second favourite of the evening. No, third favourite. So Springbank, third on my list. And I lied about my Hazel Burn being my first favourite as well. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 I gave it. We finished off with a Longrow 10-year-old, 53.7%. This was definitely my favourite of the evening. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It was extremely moreish, wanted to drink more and more of it. I believe it was finished in 2 different red wine casks, so very similar to Longrow Red, I believe. But it had toffee, cigar ash going on, punchy, not major peat going on. I believe Longrow is the more peated version of Springbank, basically. Hazel Burn had been unpeated and triple distilled, I believe, and Springbank being lightly peated, and then Longrow being heavily peated. But yeah, it was definitely there, but it wasn't as strong as I was expecting. But yeah, incredibly moreish, and yeah, that's the one that has spotlighted itself that this bottle came in at £60, so I probably would have stretched for that. Normally I'm a sub 50 kind of guy, but yeah, fantastic stuff. Really, really good. Great evening again by London Whisky Club. Thank you again for letting me be involved. Obviously I paid for it, but still thank you. But yeah, brilliant whiskies. Long row on the radar now. Right, so we skip forward to the 22nd of the 1st. This is a very, very heavy Campbelltown, Springbank heavy month, to be honest. So back in November, I had COVID, if you weren't aware. Terribly ill. Please, keep that mask on, wash your hands, all that stuff. I know the vaccine's coming out, but we still need to be safe. It's a horrible thing, and I don't wish it on anyone. But yeah, back in November, I missed a Springbank tasting evening with London Whisky Club again. It was, a bit disappointing, a bit gutting, but swings and roundabouts. So I finally got around to tasting all the samples. So we started off, and I'd done them in order, which was, took a bit of effort, not an effort, but trying to find out what order they were in. And yeah, thanks to the guys in London Whisky Club who helped me out with that. Yeah, started off, so these were all Springbank. This was a 12-year-old bourbon wood, 58.5%. I've written it down, I've put sort of different more notes on this. Basically, it's in its raw state. It feels fresh, almost lemony. Water helps the nose, but it killed off the taste a bit, which I found quite funny. I wasn't getting any peat that day. But yeah, 7 out of 10. I spoke to a few people. That was some of the people's favourite on the evening, so quite interesting. Next up, we had a 12-year-old Calverdost finished. This was 52.7%. And I've written, there's a bit of funk on the taste here. So, a bit of funk on the taste, sweetness on the lips to start, and finish has that sort of appley, Calvadosy sort of element going on to it. So, yeah, interesting, a very interesting whiskey. 7.5 out of 10. Next up was a 9-year-old Gaya Barolo. Pretty sure I pronounced that right. 54.7%. Definite wine finish going on. Berries and a bit of funk in there. Very, very pleasant. Really enjoyed that one actually, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. Next up was a Masala Wood. 58%, so a bit higher ABV on that as well. Much deeper nose, darker colour, instantly felt richer because of that Masala cask. A deeper taste, nice sweetness, pruny notes on the finish. Very, very good. Sort of a toss-up between, 8 out of 10. So, top 3, I think, of the evening. Obviously, that was a lot of whiskey. Normally, I would have tried them all on the same night, tasting them. But I left them till the next day. So, we skipped to the 24th of the 1st. Next up was the 14-year-old Portwood, 52.8%. You could definitely tell Portwood because it had a pinkish hue going on. Berry notes on the nose, quite a bit of fruit. Actually quite nice. And I'm not very keen on Portwood finishes. I don't know why, I really do like port. It's a nice little sipper. But yeah, more funk maybe. I think that's maybe the possibility why I liked it more. So just with that sort of sweetness, berry notes going on, made that sort of funkiness help. So yeah, but still only a 7.5 out of 10. Next up was 16-year-old Rumwood, 54.2%. Sweetness on the nose, more vanilla than I expected, and an almost sour note on the taste. Certainly a much more interesting dram than the Portwood. The Portwood was, it was there and that's what it was. But the rum wood felt that it was, there's something more going on in there, you know. Just the way I found it, very interesting. 8 out of 10. So yeah, that was it. A very heavy Springbank laden Campbelltown month of new whiskies that I've tried in my journey. Highlight obviously that Long Row, which has definitely put it on my radar more. I've only ever bought one bottle of Springbank, which is the 12 cask strength. I've bought quite a few Kilkerrans, so I do enjoy a lot of the Campbelltown stuff. Glen Scotias as well, they're really, really nice. I really do enjoy their spirits. So, Long Row is on my radar. I will be looking out for the said releases possibly this month, February, beginning of February they should be coming out. Might get delayed, I guess, because of the lockdown, so forth and so forth. But yeah, really interesting month for trying some really, really great whiskies, to be honest. Long Row up there, Springbank up there, great Campbelltown stuff. So, thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up and all that jazz. Please comment down below what has been your favourite new whiskey that you've tried this month. Be really interesting to find out. And with that being said, that is the last drop.